Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Teri, and I'm here with my dear friends, Gail Lynn and Dr. Gail, Skywalking with Moon. So, welcome. Today, we are talking about awakenings. So, anyway, hi, everybody. How's your week going? How's your basket going? Big bro basket coming up.
That's all been hearing about is the basket about astrological.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I haven't paid. I generally didn't it start the 17th? That was yesterday.
Yes. It starts the 17th, and I think it ends on the 29th.
Okay.
So just big shifts and releasing old stuff, and probably some transformations, but also some disclosure.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, Gail, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Gail. I'm just kidding. I was telling you guys I was up all night, but so I'm a little bit slap happy. So I am Gail Lynn, and I'm the inventor, if you want to, call it inventor. I'm the downloader of the Harmonic Egg Sound and Light Healing Chamber. I spent a lot of years in engineering so that I could prepare myself. I didn't know I was preparing myself for this journey with the Harmonic Egg, but engineering in Michigan, the Detroit area, then moving on to a less tangible industry of telecommunication where everything's in the cloud and you can't touch anything, and then moving into Hollywood. So, getting ready for filming and doing these kind of podcasts and having a silly personality, all kind of just melded together. And the universe was like, you're going to build this large wooden egg where people are going to go in and they're going to get in touch with their higher self, and they're going to be able to manifest and be more intuitive. And I'm like, yeah, right. That's what I'm going to do. And I remember thinking my subconscious thoughts were always going, women don't invent things, which slapped me, right? So when people said, you're going to invent this thing, I go, no, women don't invent things, because I grew up in automotive. I grew up in a very, blue collar environment. And so, yeah, that's what I do now is I help the egg guardians that have purchased a harmonic egg to bring more abundance to them and for them to support clients to have a better quality of life.
That's great.
Yeah. And you also have the app now.
Yes. Well, a lot of people said, hey, I can't afford to buy an egg for my house. Of course you can't. That, you build a business around it unless you, have an overabundance of cash. So then I said, okay, well, how can I make it more affordable? If they can't afford to buy one, they can't afford to do sessions for, $100 to $200. I started doing music downloads for $20 so that they could have a WAV file, which we have talked about in previous podcasts. The nervous system does not like MP3 files. It's like MP3 files is like eating at McDonald's for your health and your wellness, or a WAV file is eating the organic food, healthy food. So you want to listen to healthy music as you're trying to get healthy. And then people said, well, I can't really afford $20. So I made this app so you could have access to all the music, every single piece of music that we've ever created for the Harmonic Egg in an app for $10 a month. It's just easy.
Yeah. And it's the high frequency.
It's the WAV files. It's got song notes. It's got a visualizer. I'm getting so many great testimonials. One lady, she said she loves the visualizer. She just falls asleep watching it. The flower of life going on the screen, and she can pick whatever colors she wants to, look at with those. And she said she had the best nap ever. And people are just telling me some amazing stories of, they're meditating to the music. Yeah. So it's really fun.
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Well, Teri, why don't you introduce yourself to people too? Of people who are coming in for the first time.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Teri. I have a channel called Holding Your Space and a website called holdingyourspace.com. And I lead meditations and healings and do crystal Reiki healing, among other things, and just help people on their journey.
Short and sweet there. That's good. Okay, well, I'm Dr. Gail, and my channel is Skywalking with Moon, and Teri and I both have another channel that's called Galactic Gaia. And if you go subscribe to all our channels, Gail Lynn's channel, Teri's channel, my channel, we appreciate you all go subscribe to it. And I am a nurse, a chiropractor, and I am a medium and I specialize in ET or alien connections. And so welcome everybody. And the common thread between all three of us is we're all three healers. So that is, we got an engineer, we have a metaphysical person, we have a medical person, and we're all three are metaphysical, but the thing that we have all together is we are healers. And that's why we're here together today. But I'm going to put up, I'm going to pat myself on the back here.
Yes, please.
Yes. And Jen, I'm going to pull you up because this is exactly what Medical Mike told me. She says, update. Last week you helped me along with Medical Mike and Metatron to help me pass the pesky kidney stone 2 hours after the show, the pain passed, because that's what he told me. In 2 hours, it would get better. 2 hours after the show, the pain passed, and 2 days later, I felt like a whole new woman. Yay, Jen. When he told me 2 hours, I'm sitting there going, gosh, I hope he's right. So I'm so glad you're so much better.
It's always a leap of faith, isn't it? When Spirit comes in and says, okay, it's going to be 2 hours or it'll be 8 days, or they give you something definitive and you're like, really?
Yeah, because they do definitive things like that. And I'm exactly like that. Really, I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Just unbelievable.
I had a guy that I know he used to be my client in Colorado. He moved to Japan and he's got a baby now that's 15 months old. So not a baby, but a young child. And she got an illness from daycare where she had a rash all over her bottom. I think it's the hand, foot, mouth disease. I can't remember now how you say it, because I always want to say hoof because I have a horse, right?
You're exactly right, but it is.
I was thinking too.
Yeah. So anyway, he was like, they said it's going to take 2 weeks for her to, get over this. And I said, you know what, send me her picture and I'll put her picture in the egg, because I never want to see anybody suffer. And it's just hard, we all want to help everybody. But then sometimes like Dr. Gail was coaching me before the show. Sometimes we have to say no, because we can't do everything, right? So I don't know what to say no. So I said, send me her picture, because she's just a child. And he said she wasn't eating and she wasn't sleeping well. She was really cranky, crying a lot. She was just in pain. So that's what reminded me, within 2 hours after the session, she was eating, she was playing, she was laughing. And he said the rash was gone in a week. And he gave us a really beautiful testimonial. So I feel grateful that I have, over 150 egg owners that I can be like, okay, well, if you need help, just call any egg center and they can, do a remote session. Or if you can get there to a center, go there. So yeah, I'm not like a lone healer. So I feel really grateful.
White Dragon was asking, what kind of engineer are you?
Oh, so I did robotics, electronics. I worked in the motors lab, and I did all the calibrations on the equipment. I had dynamometers. I was building DC motors, winding armatures, magnetizing housings. I did all that. And then I did project management. So I did drafting and CAD work for wire assemblies. I worked in the wire plant. I trained all the plants on leadership training. What else did I do? CAD, drafting, engineering.
Already gone over my head with all of it.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun because I worked on switches too. So I could go in parking lots and look in cars and be like, we worked on that switch, the multifunction switches. Oh my gosh, it was fun. When I moved to telecom, I was so angry because I couldn't see or touch anything. It wasn't tangible. So yeah, I worked with, 80 guys in a lab with 2 girls. You had to have some tough skin. It was really fun. That was the most fun I've ever had.
Must have been so exciting.
Yes, yeah. This one session, would these have similar results to going in a hyperbaric chamber? No,
it's different. Everything is different. So the float tanks, I don't resonate with the float tanks, but it's more like a float tank without water. I don't resonate with the float tanks because water holds information and energy. And time again, I've had some friends of mine say, you know, I went into the float tank and I was pregnant and I came out really angry. And she's like, I'm not an angry person. And I think that the energy was in the water from the last client, even though they say it's clean, you know, obviously antibacterial because they put the salt in the water. But how do you take the vibration of the emotions of the last person out of the water?
Oh, that is so interesting.
So yeah, we don't use crystals because crystals can hold information and energy unless you're really good at clearing crystals.
Right.
And so ours is made out of wood, which doesn't hold information and energy. And we still have the center owners and the practitioners clear the room because you can still store things in the room. So you don't want any clients picking up, you know, anything. But hyperbaric chambers are much different than like a deprivation chamber or, you know, like the egg. But don't worry if you have claustrophobia. There's a girl nerd power. I love it.
I'm pulling that. She's saying,
yeah, I know. I'm such a nerd.
Power. My two daughters are
I
scientists.
love that. So yeah, you don't worry if you have claustrophobia because you definitely there's a doorbell and you can push the door open on your own. So you're not, you know, trapped in there or anything, but it's such a beautiful experience. I had an amazing nap the other day. I did soulful gratitude. I was just feeling like I wasn't grateful and, you know, feeling sorry for myself and pity party. And I was like, you know what? I want to just do the soulful gratitude. And I just laid in there in the egg and I just said, I'm so grateful for so many things. And I fell asleep and it was just an amazing experience. Let's see I had a remote session. They, will be again because of the most powerful healing. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Yeah. And I have people that
I'm going to read it first so other people who are just listening can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
I've had a remote egg session and we'll be again, I guess do it again because it was the most powerful healing session that I've ever had. And Catherine, hey, thanks Catherine for that. And that was remote. Go ahead, Gail.
Yeah. I love the remote sessions. I love the in-person. There's nothing like being in person in the egg, just being surrounded by the energies, the galactic beings. But I had a remote session in Mount Shasta and you pick up the energy of the land and it's just such a beautiful experience. I did remote sessions with the Lima, Peru, because I wanted to experience the Pachamama of the land in Peru. And it's really beautiful. And, you know, I love these positive testimonials, but do I get negative ones? Yeah. I had one yesterday where she was like, my husband and I did it and we're energy workers and we had a bad experience. We didn't sleep and then we got sick. And my guides told me that they do too much energy work. And
oh yes,
and so they really piled it on top of something else. And you know, you got to let it integrate. Anything you got to let it integrate. The egg is 5 to 7 days,
and that's what I say to a lot of people who go, especially the people who jump from show to show to show on YouTube or whatever channel, and keep asking questions and having somebody jump into their energy continually. And I go, that's not good to allow so many people into your energy. So just pick one a week. That's it. That's what I say. And let it rest.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at Catherine too. Thank you, Catherine. I've had to do remote because I live 2 hours away from my nearest egg center. Of course, I am also certified in 3 different healing modalities, and this was the most powerful one. Thank you so much. I'm so humbled because this is not my invention, guys. This came through the Syrian, my Syrian teachers, and every day I just want to cry because I'm just so grateful for that. But yeah, it's so important to let it integrate and not pile things on top of one another because, you know, it's just dangerous. I've seen people actually die from doing too much energy work, and it's no joke. I'm not exaggerating. They died.
Yes.
Wow.
So anyway, today is about transformation. So Gail, we're going to start off with you. Tell us about your transformation. And this is transformation, awakening, and probably the person to give a definition for that would be Teri. She's great at those things.
All right. Do you want to start with Teri then and giving the definition and then we'll go?
Yeah.
Well, sure. And it'll be different for everybody here because everybody has their own perception. and your perception is the right perception for your sovereignty. But I think it is part of it is knowing our sovereignty and our power. And as human species, we're involved in all these constructs as we're growing up. And then all of a sudden we get this jolt of energy or awakening in our heart, or Kundalini awakening, a crown chakra awakening. There's so many different kinds. And when you get that awakening, it's like, where did all my power go? Like, where did that come from? Just like you saying you downloaded this from the Syrians, and it's like just a huge body of information that comes into us, or energy, or both. So that's how I look at it.
And I guess it's fair to say, now I'm doubting going to the egg too. Okay. It's hard for me to say when. I think we have a lot of awakenings, don't we, during our lifetime?
Oh my God, so many. Yeah.
So
I think I have mine was huge, and then I've had after that. But what about Gail? Yours was pretty big too. Yours was your first one that you remember?
Well, the first one that I remember was when I was 7 years old. And I was just really good at sports. And I remember this happened to my brother, really. And I'm kind of starting to go out of body, so I'm going to ground a little bit. I was playing t-ball. You hit the ball off the tee, like a baseball type thing. And I remember the coach looking at my brother, and he said, "How come you're not as good as your sister?" And I just had this awakening of, what a terrible person to say this to my brother. Like, how does that make him feel? Like, I don't know if people are that aware when they're 7 years old. And so it just, to me, was so terrible. And I
would have been, if somebody said that about my sisters. I'd have been that aware at 7. I was always aware of that kind of thing.
Okay. So I don't know. It was just one of those things. And then the next time, and I'll go through these fast so that you guys can have a chance, to talk as well. I feel like I always talk too much. When I was 17 and working at a doctor.
You can count on it.
You can count on me for being a chatty Cathy. I'll talk the whole hour if you let me.
Love it.
I just want to inspire, and I want people to have hope, because I know, so the next time was 17 years old. I was working for 3 doctors in Michigan, and it was one of my first jobs. And I watched them giving away pain pills like crazy. And I looked at the FDA rules, and you couldn't have a refill on this prescription for a number of days. And people were coming in and they were prescribing them. And then they were giving out diet pills. And I'm looking at people's charts, and they're gaining weight. And so I pulled one of the doctors aside, and I was like, "Hey, how come my boyfriend's grandma comes here for weight loss, and she's gained 20 pounds in the last 10 years or whatever it was?" And he's like, "Oh, it's really just speed, and it makes her feel really good, and it gets her to clean her house." And I was like, "What?" For $170 a month, they were taking all these people's money. I ended up getting fired because I was questioning the doctors, and I'm 17 years old. That was weird. And then I was in my 20s, and I went to the ATM machine, and there was a receipt sticking out of the ATM machine, and I didn't have any money. I always said I didn't have 2 dimes to rub together because I only had 1 dime. So I was putting my check in my account because I didn't want my checks to bounce that I was writing for my bills. And the receipt said that somebody's balance was $89,000. And I was like, I am keeping this receipt, and I'm going to visualize this. And it was just an aha moment that I had. I'm like, why not me? Why can't I have this? And so within 2 years, I had gotten there, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I must have been about 28, because then by the time I was 30, I was doing really well. But then I got divorced, and I went to a psychic. And the psychic said, "You're not going to be financially stable until you're 50. And I believed her. And I think subconsciously I sabotaged myself, because then I was broke again until I was 51 to be exact. And so all these different awakenings happen, if these are what you would, consider awakenings. But now I'm seeing this as we can't listen to what people say. No one gets to put an expiration date on us or put limitations on us. We have to be empowered, and we have to be in charge of our own reality and destiny. So all these different realizations happen. And then, automotive, telecom, and then Hollywood. And I wasn't making a difference in the world. I'm like, I want to make a difference in the world. How can I make a difference in the world? And then then I got really sick. And then the sound and light therapy came through. And it was just this aha moment of, we're vibrational beings of light and sound from God, from source. Like, why aren't we healing with sound and light? This doesn't make any sense. So then I just dove into that for the last 20 years. And I mean, I have aha moments every day because I just feel like the egg keeps elevating my vibration, my frequency, and I can manifest. I'm now able to see people's emotions when they talk.
Wow.
So they're speaking, and they're not speaking their truth. They're speaking what they think I want to hear or what somebody else wants to hear. And I'm here and I'm feeling and seeing and sensing what they're really feeling. So then I try to regurgitate back to them what they're really feeling instead of what they just said.
Right.
And then they think, like I'm an amazing listener, but I'm really just able to hear what.
Well, I'm going to bring up this comment because Stardust has been really offended by the hyperbaric chamber. So can you go a little bit more into that, because she's feeling like you put it down?
Oh, no. It's just a different modality. It's not the same as the egg. So if I go, let's see, I'll have to how do they explain what is a hyperbaric chamber? Because I know it's like this oxygen. It's a specialized pressurized enclosure used for hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So it allows a person to breathe 100% pure oxygen at higher than normal atmospheric pressure. So this environment forces the body to dissolve significantly more oxygen into the bloodstream and tissues to promote healing. So I can't compare the egg to the hyperbaric. So it wasn't cutting it down. It was basically saying, no, it's not the same. So I apologize if it came across as I was just fluffing it off. It's just not the same as the egg or a float tank.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Does that help?
Sorry, Stardust. Love you. Sorry. It was just like, I've not ever used one, so I don't know what they do. And so, yeah, I couldn't speak intelligently to it. So it just pushed it away.
There you go. So hopefully that helps Stardust. So nobody was here to offend you or talk.
No.
Just talk about what she knows about, what she engineered, what she created, what she invented. So,
yeah.
All right, well, we're going to move to Teri. Are you finished, Gail? So move to Teri.
Yeah, no, it's just so many different things, and there's so many different layers of awakening and all that. So I figured that might help people to say, oh my gosh, yes, I didn't have just one awakening. I had all these different experiences.
So the most impactful, did you have one really impactful one?
Did I have
me?
Are you talking to me still?
Yeah, I went right back to Gail, then back to Teri. I just want to ask if there's one specific one that you remember the most.
Gosh, no, nothing's coming to mind like the most specific one.
Probably I'm the only one here. It was like that. So
yeah, and I want to ask Gail, what does the language look like when it comes out? Like, do you see the waves dancing in different ways? And are you seeing gamma waves, or what do you think you're seeing?
So I don't see waves. What I hear is like a voice that comes into the right side. And it's just like a little voice. And sometimes there's not even any human words. It's just a feeling that I feel in my heart, or, it's usually in my heart where I can, because I'll be like, oh my gosh. And that's where I'll grab my heart area when I'm like, oh my gosh, they're not speaking their truth. And this is what they're feeling. And I'll grab my heart area. So I think it's coming from that connection from our heart chakras together in a field that we're intertwined in.
Yeah. Interesting. I love that. That's where I usually feel things too, is in the heart. So you guys let us know where you feel them, but definitely in the heart space. But lately I've been able to see the waves of energy, especially healing energy. And kind of, I can see that there's a dance with the universe and these waves that are coming in, and it's changing. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That's cool.
Okay. So is it my turn?
your turn, and I'm excited to hear about all this. Especially, she just revealed a whole piece of her growing up to me before the show, and I'm going, "Oh gosh, I got to hear more about that." But
Oh my God, my teenage years. Yeah, yeah,
rebellious teenage years.
yeah. So remember pre-birth, came down from a yellow star, all the light beings, and they're like, "Oh my God, she's going down there. She's got it." Anyway, and then cradle, people coming in to help me, the rock people, all sorts of different people.
We'll talk about your
Octurians.
family, though. You were great.
Oh yeah.
Unlike Gail and I, you were raised in a metaphysical everything family.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my dad was Catholic, and my mom was of Jewish descent, but became a Catholic, but she was very metaphysical, and I believed in. And we had reincarnation and psychic readings for high school graduation and things like that. But growing up, so that was nice, and everything was homeopathic or organic growing up too, and very Wiccan. So I knew about herbs and whatnot, and Chinese herbal medicine growing up. It was interesting with all these different energies coming in and information coming in. Then I was in the School of Metaphysics. I started that at 12. And I think what you're referring to, Gail, is my summer that I dropped out of the metaphysics, the School of Metaphysics, and had a self-medicated, experiential, psychedelic summer. So
we were trying to figure out how to say this YouTube friendly.
Yeah. And everybody else I knew was like, partaking of different things to kind of make themselves feel differently. And I walked into it and said, oh my God, this is like an instant awakening. This is like, until I had one bad situation that was not comfortable for me. And I decided, well, that's the end of that. I experimented with that and I'm done. But so I see why people are out there doing ayahuasca, or I can't even pronounce it properly, I think, but and all the different things that they're using, because it does reset your brain and it is quite interesting. But then, like Gail was saying, you have on a daily basis an awakening. And it's just like waking up in the morning, right? And the sun setting in the evening. It's like every day is a different awakening for different information coming in, and different waves of energy. And now I feel like what's coming in is more of a higher universal energy, or waves coming in, like gamma waves, because they talk about the different kinds of waves of energy that come in. And I feel like now we're getting more crystalline energy. So a lot of you might feel like you're getting activated in a different manner, not just your auric field, but the frequency has changed. And so it's a higher elevation. I don't know. Gail knows a lot about frequency because the egg, and I've done the egg, and the egg's amazing. And I thought I was like, I couldn't drive home. My daughter was with me and she drove me home, but they gave me extra juice. So, because they were amazing. And they did that because they knew of my background.
Yeah.
Because I had an hour interview before I went into the chamber. And it was one of the most thorough readings I'd had too. So really incredible.
Can you tell us where yours was, where that was?
Pardon me?
Where that location?
Oh, I think it's in Lenexa or Olathe, Kansas. It's in the Kansas City metropolitan area.
Yeah, so, that's Erin. Erin's the owner there.
She's amazing.
Super sweetheart.
I was going to say, Gail certainly wants to reach out to her and say, you did a great job.
Yeah, no, I talked to Erin quite a bit. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
She's amazing.
I want to comment about poor Linda Bishop. Now that she said that, I think that sparked a womb experience for me too. This poor lady. I hope that you know that it wasn't you, that and I hope that you have gotten over that. Your mom hating you. It was an experience I had as well. My mom got pregnant with somebody that was other than my dad, and my dad was not my dad. But when she got pregnant, my dad was in Vietnam. So she broke off the engagement with him. And then she told the guy that she was pregnant, and he said, I don't want to have any kids. So when my dad, he was just coming back from Vietnam, and she was like, oh, this is your baby. So after he got home, she said, it was my dad's baby. And I know there was resentment, there was hate, there was shame, there was guilt, all of that stuff that we picked up, Linda and I and tons of other people, we picked it up while we were in the womb because we were living the same energy as our mom. It took me a really long time, not until I was in my late 30s and I found sound and light therapy was I able to heal from that, because I just felt like I was a piece of shit, and that everybody hated me and I hated myself. So I hope, Linda, that you have realized that was your mom's journey, not yours, but you have to clear all that stuff.
I'm going to go back up here to Linda Bishop too, about going to the hyperbaric part again. Oh, that's not the one.
Oh yeah, Lies and Awe. Yeah.
Liz, this one with Liz.
Yeah. This is what I know about the hyperbaric chambers because it's coming from the medical side.
Yeah.
She says, I've had 3 hyperbaric treatments for diving decompressions. Saves lives if you have the bends.
Yep.
Now using therapeutically to increase oxygen for burn patients and other conditions for anti-aging. Now, I didn't know it's used for anti-aging. Of course, I'm familiar with the bends and using it for burn patients, but now we're all going to think about it for anti-aging.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but also light therapy is huge for anti-aging.
Absolutely.
Which you use in the egg.
Yeah, because the egg actually strengthens the telomeres. So I do know that it does that. I don't know how the hyperbaric does that. And just like anything else, if you're in Colorado, some people that are not trained very well with the hyperbaric are not, because we're at altitude. People are ended up bleeding out of their ears, because it's too much. They don't adjust for the altitude. So, you always want to question the practitioners. How much training have you had? Can this hurt me? Anything. I mean, you can be hurt by Reiki. You can be hurt by anything. But, you want to make sure you're asking these questions too.
Yeah. You go ahead and pull hypnoticities up. That's funny.
What's that?
Hypnicity says, what is wrong with aging?
Actually, yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with aging. There is something wrong with getting decrepit and having all kinds of aches and pains when you get older, because that's what we believe subconsciously. But I know, some 80-year-old people that are like in better shape than some 20-year-old people.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And we're brought up to think that, oh, well, it's just a part of aging. But that didn't happen. I think certain parts of the world right now, like the blue zones, but also in many different areas.
Yeah,
that people would live to the hundreds.
Centenarians or centenarians. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be, go ahead, Gail.
I was going to say, I'm going to use this as a lead in on our show that we're going to be doing Thursday. And it's going to be finding your self-healing DNA strands. And Danny Shea and Teri and I will be doing that. Danny will be taking us through a shamanic journey to find your self-healing DNA. And we will be doing that Thursday. So join us on Thursday.
Yeah. And Hypnosy says, sorry, my smart aleck is showing.
I think it's funny. I mean, it's about like, we have to be more childlike. We have to learn to laugh at ourselves. I laugh at myself every day now. I almost tripped on something the other day, and my guides are so cool. I mean, I think when I go to bed, they're like, thank God she's in bed, because we work so hard to keep her. She does the stupidest things because I just running around trying to get all this stuff done. I almost tripped. And then I laughed. I'm like, okay, thanks guys, because that could have been really bad.
Mine protect me too, because I'm clumsy, and whenever I was dealing with the extraterrestrials, I just knew I know they were laughing at me because all the crazy things I would do. But,
yeah. I don't want to talk about how many times I've broken my little toes. So I trip over everything.
I'm not clumsy. I'm pretty balanced, and knock on wood, I don't fall. But the other day or yesterday, I almost tripped, and just silly things. But I usually recover, and I think my guides they stand me back up and be like, okay, keep going. So I went 72 and I have no stiffness, pain, or soreness. I watch what I eat because certain foods cause inflammation. Yeah, I want to be like you. I want to be like you when I grow up. Strawberry rhubarb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell them where you live. Because I don't know, are you still isolated?
I think she's up in Nova Scotia, aren't you,
We hadn't talked in a long time.
Sharon?
I'm not sure where Sharon's living. I thought she was on the island.
Oh, she might be on not Nova Scotia, Vancouver Island. Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure. She was in Canada at the retreat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this person, like I refuse to grow up mentally. I do
Oh,
the
it's Nova
silliest little jokes, and I tease my horse, and I tease my little kitties, and I giggle and laugh, and it's fun. I mean, I like to just be silly.
Well, I'm just wondering if this island that she's on, right, Sharon, that isn't it, aren't you isolated, only a few people living on this island?
Salt Spring Island, BC. Was born in Nova Scotia.
Mm. She's between Vancouver Island and the mainland.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, 11,000 people. Okay.
It's a big city.
Yeah, that's a big city. Well, that's a little larger than Mount Shasta when I lived there, because that was only 3,000.
Get out.
Yeah, it's only 3,000, like 3,600. It's a gorgeous and spiritual island. That's what I thought. I think, Sharon is surrounded by this healthy, spiritual, and
Yeah.
eating.
Well, don't you create your own reality? Like, I feel like I'm surrounded by 66 trees on my property here in the Denver, Colorado area. But if I just go another mile outside, there's the highway and all the traffic and people beeping their horns. But I live in my own little bubble.
Right. But you're still getting some of, in my mind, I'm immediately going to air. Just think how fresh her air is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What is going on with air quality everywhere, guys? Oh my gosh. It's been like 100 on the Apple. It'll tell you the air quality. When I went to,
Here
I don't know what it is in Nova Scotia.
She lives off grid on 32 acres. And
Yeah, that's amazing.
How can that be?
Yeah. So the air quality is so very bad. And we keep paying all these fees and taxes for air quality. But how can they promise that they can clean up the air? What are they going to do? Put a big fan up? I mean, and blow it back to wherever? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. We're paying these regulatory agency fees, and all the stuff. And like the air quality is worse. But yeah, I mean, what is going on with that? When I went to Antigua, like it was a 0 on the air quality. It was so beautiful and crisp and clear. And then you come here, I guess in Detroit, it's 500. I don't think I've ever seen 500 air quality.
Wow.
And my sister sent me a picture of her house, and it looks like it's just a foggy cloud, and it smells, she said, like a bonfire.
Mm.
Wow.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Is that because of the fires in Canada?
I mean, that's what they're saying, but I don't know. Like, there's a lot of, conspiracy theorists, and here somebody got rid of the EPA. Somebody.
Yeah, somebody did.
Oh, okay. So she still rides her motorcycle. I have a motorcycle too. You have to tell me what you ride. I have a Harley Switchback. And she still camps in a tent. That's cool. I don't ride it too much anymore because people are all texting and driving, and I just don't want to get killed.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to meet Sharon, and Sharon, I would have thought you were in your 50s or early 60s. I would have never known. Yeah.
So, well, Teri, do you want to continue with your journey? We interrupted you.
Oh, no, it's okay. But
sorry.
No, this is all good. But so just being aware that lots of shifts going on the planet, and we'll get those, and you might have a Kundalini awakening, a heart opening, or just a revelation.
Your own revelation and openings, not your normal teaching everybody about theirs.
Oh yeah. So so I've had openings when I've had to hold on to my bedpost for 48 hours and thought, you know, if I called somebody and let them know about this, they would probably take my children away from me at certain times. Because you're like, you know, you have these big awakenings, and it's just like it's too fast, too soon sometimes. My crystal shaman, Reverend Saul, used to always say that, you know, we're being given a Maserati and know how to drive a jalopy. So it's like, go slow, be kind to your brain cells, you know.
So is the one that you're holding on your bedpost, it was an isolated incident, or is that normal for you when you're going through?
That's happened like 3 or 4 times that it's happened like that. And now I'm a little better at containing it.
Okay.
But at the time it was just a lot. Yeah. And I grew up using Kundalini energy. So I thought I've always felt like kind of fearless about it.
I didn't even know what Kundalini energy or anything was until 6 years ago.
Yeah. But look at you now. I mean, I don't think it matters how long anybody's been doing anything. I think that's wiped off the face of the universe now. It's like no time or space. And if you started yesterday and you've got all this knowledge and wisdom, it
Right.
just shows. Yeah.
Right. Just waking it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Hypnicity says if they saw what I saw, they'd lock me up. Right?
Oh, me too. For even having my channel on some of these things, I'm surprised somebody hasn't come knocking at my door.
Yeah.
But look,
I recommend a lot of people to interview Gail, and I'm like, she's not crazy. She's not.
No, she's
I
brilliant.
love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's a cool motorcycle.
yes, and people have to know my background and have to meet me, and you can see the question mark I see on people's face before I start talking. You know, and it kind of entertains me to watch it trends move and change.
Funny.
Sometimes it is funny, but so yeah, Teri, what about now? When is the last time you had any awakening or transformation that you recall, and what was it?
Oh, it was this morning, and a couple of times this morning, like this morning at sunrise meditation outside, and my cat was communicating with me. So he was laying there and just giving me information. And then I led a meditation at the yoga patch this morning, and we went into zero dimension and contacted our future and past selves. And so that was a big one, as you might say.
What did the cat tell you? I want to know what the cat told you.
Oh, we've done this before, and he was giving me a download. He's Lyran, and I think Hadarian too. It's interesting, his energy, but he was connecting me to the inner earth. So yeah, he's got beautiful eyes. I mean, sometimes all you have to do are look at the eyes, right? And I don't really know the information much more than the connection, because it was a frequency. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think that's where telepathy comes in, is when we can all get to a higher frequency, we should all be able to raise our consciousness and, you know, really not read everybody's mind, but read their emotion and be able to be more kind to them, not treat them the way you want to be treated, but treat them the way that they desire to be treated.
I just got information that they just told me right now. Within 2 years, we're going to be able to communicate with our animals and know what they're saying.
Oh, I talk to my animals all the time.
But it's going to be kind of general public information.
Yeah.
That we'll be able to communicate with them, which is going to be nice.
Yeah. Because a lot of what our animals go through is our own stuff. So they're picking up, you know, my first dog I had through 2 divorces and 3 moves to 3 different states. And I was really angry, and he was 14, thankfully. And he was a Husky Malamute, but he passed away of a liver tumor. I know he was absorbing all of my anger, and I was so guilty when he passed. Thankfully he had a good long life, but it was all my stuff. And if we could talk to our animals, they could maybe share with us, hey, you know, you need to start releasing this anger because I love you so much that I'm going to take it on and I'm going to get sick. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I do want to bring up this question here right from the beginning that Leah that you brought up, and it says, "Hello, beautiful girls and friends. My question is the Akashic halls. Where are they? Who maintains them? And do we only get to view our own records? Thank you kindly. P.S. When is medical mic available?" Okay, we'll be back on in 3 weeks. It's usually the second Saturday of the month that we have medical mic, but yeah, but they don't, I'm surprised, Lee, you can see, I can't see my own records. I can see everybody else's, but mine, they won't let me see mine. So I think that's fascinating that you say that. So Teri, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I started reading the Akashic records when I was 15, and that's how I started reading them, was doing, what do you call it? Regressions. That's what they were. And so, yeah, you can read them, and I feel like you can read everyone's, because there is no time or space. But when you read for other people, I think you go in with the intention. For me, I go in with the intention of what pertains and is the most important for the highest good for that person.
Right, was helping them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I sit down, they laugh, and they pull my book out, put it out, and it's blank. And then they'll laugh at me. Like, we're not going to show you your future. How about you, Gail?
So I've heard, and I'm not sure what I really believe in, but I've heard that the Akashic records are kind of going to be a thing of the past. Like, we won't need to rely on them too much in the future, because the karmic experiences that we're having are going to kind of fade away. So I don't know. I've never really resonated with the Akashic records. So that's just me.
Thank you for saying that, because I feel the same. Like, I started doing that when I was 15, and now I'm like, that's old stuff, kind of, in a way. Like, it's important to know if you have been through traumas or whatnot, and you can kind of get that. And we were talking about this earlier, our solar plexus, right? We feel it of our ancestors have been through things, and probably what we've been through too. But it's, I feel like we're leveling up, and that doesn't matter. And karma was never a punishment; it was always a learning experience.
Exactly.
So yeah, so we're really changing.
Teri, I'm going to ask you a question for a definition also, because recently there's somebody asked me this question between karma and dharma, which is very fundamental, but I thought maybe that some people don't know the difference. Can you give that definition?
Yeah, dharma is what you're here to do, and you'll usually find out it's the thing that gives you the most joy. So, like, Gail found her joy, Gail Lynn, helping people and connecting people with this energy, and Dr. Gail finds her joy, I believe, through connecting people with their other selves or their star families. Yeah, and healing. So, and healing for all three of us. So it's like what you're here to do on the planet in this lifetime, or what you're here to do as an oversoul as well, like where we connect. So, and that's always what brings us the most joy. Karma is just a memory. And it's never a punishment. It's just something that we have a memory of. And we might have a memory of it in our bodies. We might have it in our genome, or our biome. But, and it's like the memory of waking up every morning and having a coffee, and then thinking that you have to have a coffee every day. Once you recognize it and see it, then you no longer need it. Does that make sense?
No, I need my coffee.
Well, maybe we're not, perhaps not with coffee, but like.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes, it does.
So, yeah, I know dharma to be like your moral compass or your life purpose, where karma is more of like, it's a cause and effect. Yeah. You hurt somebody and then someone else could hurt you, or you get hurt, something like a cause and effect is how I see it.
Yeah. Until you learn about it and you witness it. And then you're like, okay, then that's over, because I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
I know about that. I've learned that lesson. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you both. So, all right, let me see what else we have here. White Dragon, what do you have here? Hi, ladies. It's been quiet for a while. Any ideas as to why? Just curious. I've been busy working on the preserve infrastructure. We now have a resort and super yachts to explore any of 10 islands. Oh, okay. Well, that's great. It has been quiet for me also. And I guess it's been quiet for a lot of people. So I guess we can go and check out your 10 islands and resorts. Thanks, White Dragon.
Did you guys see Strawberry Rhubarb? That she met somebody at the was that the retreat?
Yeah, or right after the retreat.
Yeah, and age is just a number. My boyfriend is 18 years older than me, and I've always like resonated with older guys. I don't know, maybe I'm an old soul, maybe I grew up faster. I don't know, but yeah, I always resonated with older guys. Never. I mean, there's also the really sick story is that my first sexual experience was with the priest of the parish that was 44 years older than me when I was 14. And so there's also a theory that maybe, that's why I resonate with older guys. But I don't really think that. I think there's more of a maturity thing because I feel like some of the younger guys, I'm like, oh my God, they're so immature.
I was going to say that's maybe a healthier way to look at it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe I just don't want to look at it the other way.
Yeah. All right. You see anything, Teri, that we need to bring up?
Diana brings up oil painter. What if the Akashic records are simply the accumulated soul experience of the individual, much like the higher self is simply the totality of every life incarnation one has experienced? Yeah.
Yeah.
Past, present, and future, 100%.
Yeah, I look at my birth chart and I think, that's kind of an Akashic record too, that's my, my compass of what I'm supposed to do in this lifetime.
Yeah. I agree with that, Diana.
Yeah. I've seen Missy saying, my starter husband was 12 years older than me.
I call my first one my practice husband. I like starter husband. That's a good one.
Yeah. I call mine my first ex-husband. So.
Okay. You see anything else, Teri?
I thought it was oil painter. I don't think it is. So there really is we don't need those anymore. But, karma is what we're talking about is changing. So probably I misspoke on that. Karma is different. So there's really no need for those anymore, but rather an integration of them. Our higher self is the wisdom of our lifetime's thoughts. Our higher self is also our connection to the divine or the infinite potential. Our higher self and in our own little way. So our own big way, rather.
Yeah, and I just want to say too, I mean, just because, the three of us have had experiences, it doesn't mean that they are the experience. The people that I met when I was, dating and they were younger, they seemed immature, but that's just what I attracted at the time. So we attract what we need, what lessons we need. There's no one size fits all. No one's wrong. No one's right. It's just sharing our journeys and our experiences.
Well, I want to put out there about everybody. What has been your transformation? What has been your awakening? And how does that look? Because that can help others understand what's going on with their own bodies and what's happening to them. Does anybody here in the chat have a story about their own transformation or awakening that is different? I mean, all of us have had different, come to us differently, but I'm wondering if there's somebody in the chat that has something unusual, how it happened to them.
What about you, Gail?
Yeah, Gail.
Well, everybody's heard about mine. Mine's been so easy. It's like just 6 years ago when we went in with COVID, I wasn't taking care of anybody, and I had always been a medium, always been a closet medium, and so I was already connected to my father who had recently passed, and he started introducing me first to an angel and then to ETs. I had one friend that was metaphysical. Her name's Meg. I kept running to her saying, I have a brain tumor. I need an MRI. Something's wrong. And that went on for about 6 months until I started. The extraterrestrials asked me to work with them probably within 6 weeks after I met them, but I started working with them. And so mine was like a light switch. But I was alone. I wasn't taking care of anybody. So it was a perfect timing. I was a captive audience. And I'd started meditating for the first time. So that's how it happened for me. Mine's a very simple story, but transformational story.
And we, like before the show we were talking, it's not simple, but for you, it's like, oh yeah, nothing but a thing, because that's what I'm here to do. And that's my Dharma. And so, yeah, it's simple. Other people would have just gone mad.
Well, I had that one person that I could talk to about it. They kept telling me, I know you, you're okay. That's what she kept saying. I know you, you're okay. I've known you for years. You're fine. That's a spiritual awakening. And I'm walking out of her office Googling spiritual awakening because I didn't even know what that meant. Yep. Anyway, that was mine. But anyway, any last words, ladies?
Well, I love what this says. Live by the golden rule. Golden rule. You can't go wrong. So I'm not sure how to interpret that, but I mean, I think if we just follow our hearts and our intuition, and we try to be good people, that's all we can do. Doing our best, and everyone's gonna have a bad day, and we just have to know that somebody might be having a bad day, and that's why they treated us poorly. But we can't take it personally. And it's just hard to do.
Yeah.
I was saying, Lisa's saying my awakening is chanting or my Lyran and ancestral families.
Love it.
Yeah. So Teri, any last words?
Just, we're all individuals and we're all going to do it differently. And whatever brings you joy and wonder is the right way for you. I think it's an easy way of kind of filling it into your heart space of what your next step is or what you're here to do.
Yeah. And Sharon's saying her transformation was at age 49 and she started to live my authentic life, basically.
Yeah. I love that, Sharon. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody. Beautiful. Thanks for joining us. Teri, when's your next show?
I think Monday I'm going to be on with Annie Bear.
Okay.
So, yeah.
My next one will be on Wednesday, and I'll be on with Val Dragonfly Crystals.
Yay. I love her.
Anything upcoming for you, Gail?
I just filmed a documentary last Friday. It's going to be called Timeless. It's going to be a year before it comes out, but my part was filmed on Friday, and it's going to have Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, Zach Bush, Peter Crone, and then little old me and a couple other people as well. Wow. So I think the interview was really fun. It was super stressful. And she said at the very end, she's like, you need to be seen. And I'm like, I know, but I don't just shout from the rooftops, and I don't have millions of dollars for marketing, and I'm not trying to build a patriarchal business model of, a wealth, pyramid type of company. I'm trying to create abundance for everybody and the divine feminine business model. So if the movie goes off well, it'll be great. But yeah, it'll be fun. So that was it. I'm kind of going to take a little bit of a break. So I've been doing podcasts every week and the filming, and I have another documentary coming out that I was filmed in. It should be out by the end of the year. So just it's been busy. I haven't really tuned into my guides and intuition for a while because I've been too busy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what I told you before the show started.
Yep. N-O is a complete sentence.
Yes. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see y'all later. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.